What's yes, the Red Room, baby doll. Got the King game on in the background. Anything but politics. Well, Lois is chilling right now. Woo! All right, Kings are down 3-0. Not a good game so far, Dr. Nova. Uh-oh, hell to review. We're getting good for you, Big Mike. Good for you. Congratulations. Won that hoe. I mean, I find they usually side with the women. Let's hit the like button. 16 people in here, only 2 likes. Come on, man. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Shalom, shalom. L'chaim. L'chaim is to all my Jewish listeners. Lois, come on now. Welcome to the life of a dog owner. 3-0. Pittsburgh Penguins. About 10 minutes left to go in the second period. Kings better get it together. Big save, Dave Rittich in goal. Were you impressed with Trump today? I mean, he it was what I expected. I thought it was kind of shady with for Biden to do all those last minute family pardons, but every president does that the last day. Oh, thank you, Yas Queen. I appreciate it. Good for you, Dr. Nova. We're a small, friendly stream here in the Earlverse. We talk about everything but the Dabbleverse. Unless you show me the money, honey. What up, Eric Bischoff? I mean, Clinton did it, Trump did it, but I don't think Biden and his crew can claim they're the good guys when a lot of shady people got pardoned. I know it's Happy Martin Luther King Day, everyone. I guess it's a pretty big holiday. Wasn't Arizona last on board to do it? Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He's a real rogue outlaw. And yes, I'm aware that Martin Luther King was killed by a guy named Earl. James Earl Ray. One of the sad days in American history. Ford pardoned Nixon. Yeah, I mean, every president does it, but I don't think, Biden, I think they had a chart of all the pardons past presidents have done. And, I think Bush Jr. was a couple hundred, Clinton was a couple hundred. Biden had like 2,500, man. Holy God. That's a little shady, O'Grady. Um, but it's done, and I'm sure Trump will do the same thing in 4 years. I hope he does too, because what can the Democrats say? That to me is the real interesting election is in 2028 for president. Democrats don't really have anyone outside of Gavin Newsom lined up, and then who do the I don't I just don't see Vance as a president. He's like a perfect vice president. But who knows? We'll see what happens the next 4 years. It's on now. So we'll see what happens. And, it's going to be as a comic, it's definitely funner to have Trump in there. Yeah, I mean, Gerald Ford. I loved it when Chevy Chase would play him on SNL. SNL really went downhill after that first cast. I mean, they really hit lightning in a bottle with that first cast. I think Belushi died, and then they all started leaving one by one. And, there were some good people here and there on it. Eddie Murphy, the Sandler, Snide, Schrader run, Norm. But did you ever try to get a spot on South Park? I mean, those guys pretty much do all the voices. It's kind of like Beavis and Butthead. I would love to do South Park. I'm not sure, William. I mean, just that Chevy Chase word association with Richard Pryor. I know that was not a Gerald Ford. That's to me the best sketch ever in SNL history. 50 years though, you got to give it to Lauren Myers. I don't know how he's kept it going with some of these seasons. I mean, name me the last good character on SNL. It's tough. And when you see someone as funny as Shane Gillis get fired before his first episode, like that guy's hilarious. But I don't even know what characters Leslie did. I'm not hating on her. I got no problem with her. Of course, you guys know she has a problem with me, but if you got a problem with Earl, it's on you, man, because everyone likes me, to be honest. Even the people I don't like don't say anything bad about me. Even Jeff Ross asked a mutual friend of ours about a year ago, why does Earl hate me so much? He knows. He's just trying to play the victim. That's all right. I'm a soldier. You burn me, I'll get you back. So, you have to admit that Jim Carrey's sketch on Night of the Roxbury was epic. Yeah, I mean, that was good. But, I mean, it's few and far between. I mean, I think when they started to get really political, they turned off a lot of people at the other party. And I think that was something that turned off a lot of people. But what are you gonna do? I mean, they really have no competition. That's the problem. I mean, Matt TV gave him a nice run, but they bailed out, and so now it's like wrestling's always better when there's two companies going at it. That's been the problem with SNL. Mud Sharks Unite, what up, what up? They've had no competition for so long since Mad TV and Living Color went off the air that they can just put out shit. And it's not like Saturday night is a ratings bonanza, so I'm sure NBC's just happy with anything. So there you go. All right, here comes Kempe. Kempe on the attack. Have a weak backhand, but hey, it's a start. I literally has been. I mean, when you fire Norm Macdonald, one of the great comedy minds of all time, no. I understand that the head of NBC was like, "Hey, tell this guy to stop the OJ jokes," but it's just not. And I think some of the stronger casts, the minute one of them makes a movie, the others want to make a movie. I mean, the black dude, Tim. I mean, I haven't watched the show in not Tim McGraw, Tim. Who's the black dude? Zoom on SNL. Tim something. Tim Meadows. Even he got a movie. So I don't know. I just and I mean, Alec Baldwin as Trump was funny maybe the first two times, and then it was just repetitive. Yes, thank you, Zoom. Excuse me. It's a probiotic drink. I mean, but that's crazy that Tim Meadows got a movie. Chris Kattan got a movie. And maybe one of the worst stand ups I've ever worked with. Nice guy, though. Um, it's pretty hard. I mean, I've known tons of people who auditioned and never got close. I mean, you guys remember my ex girlfriend, Whitney Rice. She should have gotten on it. I mean, she's an amazing actress. She didn't even come close. Chandler, who you probably more of you know, she tried to get on as a writer, and she's amazing. Not even close. So they have a very weird selection process. So, um, I think it's very political, and it's cookie cutter. It's not very cutting edge comedy. And a lot of my friends who've gotten it, they've left like a year later. Um, my friend Aristotle, he was really funny on it. He lasted one season. I mean, I think Punky Johnson left the show, and she's what, maybe 3 or 4 seasons. Um, so, from what I understand, it's incredibly political to like get your sketches on, and you got to really fucking fight for it. But the show's still on the air. I mean, I would love for Fox to take another run at a Mad TV type show. You could basically just staff it with people who didn't get SNL, and it'd probably be a better show. But I mean, Will Sasso was on Mad TV. Phil Lamar, who played my son on the Jellies, on Mad TV. Leslie Jones is probably only I mean, Leslie is an interesting looking person. It's. I mean, she is a larger than normal African American woman. There's no one else in Hollywood that really looks like her. So she really hit the gene lotto in terms of, hey, we need a loud, sassy black girl. I mean, I can't think of anyone other than Leslie. So she's set for life. Her problem is really that some of her movies haven't done that well. Now, that's not her fault, but, perception is reality. I mean, the Ghostbusters movie she was in did not do very well at all. And once again, not her fault. And then that show she was on with Comedy Central with Dr. Ken, that kind of bombed. Um, and, I mean, and, I don't know, I think people are kind of tired of the loud sassiness she brings. But she'll always get work. Um, it's just it's like if you're a fat white dude, like Ralphie May always got work because hey, we need a fat white guy. And I love Ralphie. That's not me making fun of Ralphie, but I'm in the worst category you can be in, skinny white guy in his 50s. I would kill to be like large and black, or I mean, I can't say I'd kill to be fat, but like, it's just one of those things that it's Hollywood is weird like that. I think I'm pretty skinny. Um, if a comic was on SNL, is that a guarantee for gigs? I would absolutely say. I mean, I don't know if you're set for life, but you're definitely set while you're on the show because you can just do one-off gigs at a theater on your off night. Now I believe the show is still filmed live on Saturday night, so you could say do a theater gig on Sunday. But, it's a crazy schedule because then you got to be back in New York on Monday to start rehearsals and writing for the various shows. But I don't know if I'm getting that money, honey. But I'm doing all right. Put it this way: there's people doing worse than me. I mean, Sandler's really the last one to really break out, and Schneider too. A lot of people say what you want about his films and whatnot, and his political views, but Schneider was really after Sandler, or maybe same time, was one of the few to benefit from the show, and Will Ferrell, of course, is probably one of the more successful people. Um, you know, so yeah, I mean, there's Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and there's some who've been, I mean, Kevin Brennan was a big break for him writing on that. I mean, I haven't watched SNL honestly since Norm Macdonald left. Um, so I mean, someone sent me a clip today of I guess a sketch that was funny, and I'm like, I'm good. Um, yeah, I mean, SCTV, John Candy, Eugene Levy. Um, I mean, I liked Mad TV because they were a little on the aggressive side. It was kind of cutting edge, but I would think something like that would do well. I know they tried a TV, like an improv show like that a couple years ago. It didn't work at all. It was basically Saturday Night Live light, and it did not work at all. Um, so I mean, my favorite SCTV character was John Candy's Johnny LaRue. Um, so, it's just the show the last couple of years is really more. It's not based on funny. It's based on casting. Hey, we need an Asian guy, we need a black guy, we need a lesbian, we need a wild-looking girl, we need, it's not who's the funniest 12 people we can put in a room together and make some funny sketches. Maybe that was it, Ryan. But there was a show because a lot of my friends got on the show. Uh, yeah, I mean Theo not going to help me out, and Spade ain't either. Welcome to the business, Earl. Um, I don't know. I mean, I think that that just first cast, it just was lightning in a bottle. I mean, you had some all-time great TV comics, not stand-up comics, but Belushi, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. I mean, it really was just a cast that was beyond I mean, just Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner, Kempe scores, baby. Comedy Store's favorite son, Kempe, baby. Um, so I mean, I don't know if I'd say you had that weird era like with Joe Piscopo and I don't know. That era started to get a little wonky with me. I mean, Dennis Miller was good on Weekend Update. I like Kevin Nealon on Weekend Update. A lot of people didn't because he would fuck up words. It was like it, but it kind of made it though. Um, thank you, Infectious. We'll give you a little view of the Sting mask. Of course, Eddie Murphy got the gig on SNL because Charlie Barnett couldn't read. But I don't know if Charlie Barnett would have lasted long on that show because Charlie never lasted long on anything. We don't talk about Brian Callen on this stream. No, thank you. Um, Barnett didn't really last on Miami Vice. I mean, he could have been a recurring character throughout the show, but I think urban legend was that he told Don Johnson to fuck off or something. So yeah, I mean, he probably would have gotten the Eddie Murphy part. Um, so, um, the Kings are in a power play. It's wild right now. Whoa. And I think if you put money in his pocket, I don't think he would have calmed down. Yeah, I mean, there's which other countries have you visited? Well, that's a different question. Yeah, he was the black guy in DC Cab. Moses also in Miami Vice as a recurring character. I think like the first 3 seasons. Definitely the first 2. And then what countries have I'd really just Canada and the U.S. Virgin Islands, but that's not a country. Although I might go to Singapore to see the Click 5 reunite. So, yes. Hold on here. There's some more. My friend Taya Valkyrie. Kamala doll. Some Sid action figures protecting giant robot. Yes, I'm 56 and I still collect wrestling action figures. They are not dolls. They are whoa. They are action figures. Just say Julie. I don't know what that show is. Oh, I'm sure Gene Simmons was. That guy visit third world countries, man. What the hell would I want to do that for? I already live in a third world city. Tell me where I should be visiting. Yes, figurines, action figurines. Kings are coming on right now. World's best daddy, man, 100%. I even got an award for it. 1 minute and 27 seconds left to go in the second period. Kings are down 3-1, playing a lot better though. Should be a good third period. I don't mind collecting action figures. It's not like I have hundreds of them, but I like wrestling, so I'm not going to be visiting any third world countries. No, thank you. I mean, Los Angeles is basically a third world city, and the Penguins just scored 4-1. 59 seconds left to go in the second period. I'm from Mongolia. Well, I'll probably never be doing stand-up in Mongolia. But welcome to the Earlverse network. Theo Vaughn at the inauguration. I mean, I don't really have any thoughts about it. I mean, Theo's a networker. He's palming. Everyone palms, even Theo. I believe he is friends with Trump. I know Trump did his podcast. So, uh, you know, good for Theo. I think someone sent me a clip of Hinchcliffe. Of course, Tony's there schmoozing. Uh, no, I don't think I'll be doing a world tour starting in Mongolia. I mean, I never say never, but well, they better get their act together. I don't think they play Tampa Thursday because I know they play the Florida Panthers Wednesday night here. I don't think they'd have a game the other side of the country on Thursday. Um, well, I am somewhat big in Australia, but I mean, I'm not going to fly to Mongolia. I don't know what the hell I would joke about to those people. I mean, I won't even drive to Santa Monica to play a room where I don't think I'm not going to do well in. I'm certainly not flying to fucking Mongolia. Yeah, I know who Julie Brown is now. Wubba wubba wubba. I don't know if a stand-up special to Mongolians would be good for me. Yeah, that would be funny if you just Samoans don't fuck around, man. You know, I mean, Crips and Bloods are definitely dangerous, but I think some of the most scary gangs are like in East LA and like Long Beach area. There's a lot of Samoan gangs, and no one really fucks with them. Yeah, but there's also the Black Julie Brown. She's like from Jamaica or something, and she would always go wubba wubba wubba. So there, I think there's two Julie Browns. The one you're talking about, I think, was in the movie Earth Girls Are Easy, and yeah, Haku generally acknowledged as the toughest pro wrestler ever. Yeah, yeah, but there was also a Black Julie Brown who was like Jamaican. I think she did like something with Dial MTV or House of Style. She had some show. You know, she was in that class of VJs with like Adam Curry and she was like the second wave of MTV VJs. Yeah, Club MTV. I mean, it's been a minute. Yeah, she came in after Martha Quinn, J.J. Jackson, Alan Hunter, the guy with the curly hair, Mark Goodman. You know, I don't know if she replaced anyone necessarily, but she was the second wave before MTV just went full on Jersey Shore and I'm 16 and pregnant. You know, that network. You talk about a network that lost its way. That would be MTV. But, you know, I guess they're making money on these shows. Pimp My Ride and all that shit. Oh, yeah. I mean, I bet, what was it? Remote Control with Ken Ober and Kari Wuhrer. She was also in the Alice Cooper video, Hey Stupid. One of the great 80s metal, like late 80s, you know, glam, hot chick in a video type vibe. Well, I mean, yeah, Carrie was hot. She was even pretty hot when she got older, but she tore it up in the '80s, so I'm sure that the booze and whatever she was doing probably affected her looks. But yeah, Theo was. I mean, I remember the first show I did with Theo Vaughn was at some shitty restaurant in Huntington Beach. Like, oh, that's a guy from what was he on Road Rules? And look at him now, one of the biggest comics. Some may even say he's overtaking Rogan, but I don't think he's quite there yet. But still, if you are in the discussion with Rogan as a podcaster, you're doing pretty good. Yeah, Headbangers Ball the early years was really good. I mean, Ricky Rackman knew all those guys, so it was very easy to get great guests. And, it drove, that was, maybe in the 80s, the last era of, a video could help drive album sales. Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with you there, but I'm not here to tell you who you find funny. Um, yeah, I mean, this game tonight, LA and Pittsburgh, is definitely. I mean, the Kings have a lot of youth. The Penguins don't. Like, they need to do kind of a rebuild, but it's tough because as long as you have Malkin and Sid, you kind of always want to win, but you can't because it's just Sid and Gino and Letang. And Carlson's not really playing that great, but they're playing good tonight. 4 goals. Um, I'm not sure what's going on with the Kings. They're coming off a long road trip, so they're probably a little tired. Yeah, I mean they got a little weird with the hardcore stuff, but I think everyone kind of saw the writing on the wall with like the glam stuff being phased out. And harder bands like Anthrax and Pantera coming in, Guns N' Roses. So, but I enjoyed it when they had the Vinnie Vincent invasion on. By the way, Slaughter was at the Whiskey A Go Go last night. I didn't even go. It's right up the street from my house. Yeah, Unplugged. I mean, Rad had a good Unplugged with Fred Corey on side drums and Michael Schenker taking in for Robin Crosby. Great version of Born on the Bayou. Theo's a nice guy. I mean, he's gone a little Hollywood, but I get it. He's a hillbilly from wherever he's from, Tennessee. So he, I think, has experienced the fruits of his labor. Yeah, that's Oh, I thought you were talking about the Kiss song, All Night. Up all night, sleep all day. Someone sent me a clip of the song from last night, "Burning Bridges," which is a song about Mark and Dana's time in the Vinnie Vincent invasion, and it sounded pretty good. I mean, it was packed too. Usually Sunday night shows at the Whiskey, they don't do that well, but you know, excuse me. I got tired all of a sudden. We'll do about another 10 minutes, guys. We'll do a nice tight 45-minute Monday night live stream. Yeah, Fred's doing music for the Kings, but the money he really makes is in the scoring for TV and film stuff. I mean, that's why even if Jeff LeBar were alive, I don't think Fred would have an interest in doing Cinderella. It really is burning bridges, got a nasty reputation from town to town. Um, I know, William. I'm a little tired tonight. I'm not gonna lie. Yoga. I took a new yoga teacher tonight, and he was tough, man. A lot of planks and whatnot, and I've got weak shoulders, which is weird because in the gym I lift very heavy weight for me. I mean, and for someone my age, I lift heavy weight. Although there was a guy in the leg press machine last night, leg pressing 700 plus pounds like it was nothing. I mean, you could tell this guy was in his mid 20s. Enjoy it, pal, while you got it. Um, he quit that one. Wait, what? He quit that one? I don't know what that means, William. Please expand. No, this guy was straight, like a guru type, big ZZ top beard. It was pretty amazing to watch this guy do it like it was nothing. Now, you can do more weight on the leg press because it's a little easier on your back and knee joints, but I think it was like 8 or 9 plates on each side. I mean, he was literally taking all the 45-pound weights from every rack, and I was like, damn. And he did them full too. So, um, oh, I'm sorry about that, TB. Yeah, I mean, video game work. There's tons of money in that. There's a lot of money in scoring TV shows. Films, obviously. Yes, R.I.P. John Sykes. He really uh, spiced up the White Snake catalog. Um, Not going to yoga to look at dudes. Well, William, that's where you're wrong, my friend, because I would say this class tonight, 85% women. And I'm the only straight guy there, I think. So the odds are in my favor. Nasty Neil in the house, who has the preeminent horror movie podcast. Feel free to plug it away, Nasty Neil. New York Islanders beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 3-1. We'll give you the out-of-town hockey scores as they come in. The Carolina Hurricanes beat the Chicago Blackhawks in overtime 4-3. Thank you, Nasty Neil. Winnipeg lost to Utah 5-2. A lot of games on a Monday night on this inauguration day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. We've got another 5 minutes, guys. I want you tonight to want more. Hey, Earl usually does well over an hour. Well, tonight I want you to want more. Jimmy was in Das Clown. Nasty Nate on Half Baked. No, we got Nasty Neil, the nastiest Neil, outside of Vince Neil. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Yeah, you got to keep them wanting more. I could half-ass it for another half hour, but I want to end early tonight. One, I'm tired. Two, I wish Earl was still on. Maybe next time he's on. Blah blah blah. I know how it works. I know how the algorithm works in YouTube. Earl, what's your thoughts on fat people who lay in bed all day? His name is Barry. I don't know who Barry is. I mean, I think anyone who lays in bed all day, that's why they're fat. So, I guess my thoughts are get up and exercise. And you don't have to. Yeah, I did it last. I thought Chappelle said they release it Monday night, but I don't know if it's been released yet. I was on Chappelle and Joel Jimenez's music podcast last week. I think we did it last Tuesday. They said it's out on Mondays, but I have not gotten any links or whatnot. So I'm not sure what to tell you guys. But I will say it's one of the more funner recent podcasts I've done. Those are two good dudes in the world of Hollywood. Yeah, I mean, you got to figure Barry Ribs at his age probably wasn't making much money in the world of stand-up. And he probably was just doing open mics and shit. So I don't know if he really ever had the opportunity to make money in this business, to be frank. But, I like Barry. He's always been nice to me. I've never met him in person. I've only kind of, I did judge his, I don't know if I personally would call it a roast battle, but whatever that was with, who was it, Pat Dixon? Barry Ribs and Pat Dixon? Well, that's the rough thing about stand-up comedy. We don't get no pension. We don't get no health insurance. We don't get a lot, to be frank. So, remember listening to comedy only on records before VHS. Um, yeah, I mean, I like Barry. I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about him. So I know that he was on the Kevin Brennan roast, a couple years ago, but I don't know if he's beloved in the New York comedy scene or, I don't know. And how do you know he's homeless, though? Would I face K. Trevor Wilson again? Not really. I mean, I already beat him. And I love K. Trevor Wilson. And, that's the thing I love about roast battles. Anyone can win or lose. And, it's always great to debate, well, who's better, Earl or Tiana? Well, Tiana beat Earl. But K. Trevor Wilson beat her, and then I beat him. So it's fun to do that. But I think that I'll never roast battle again. There's no way I would ever help a Jeff Ross show out after what was done to me. Fuck that guy. Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I mean, Stallone's been one of the most successful actors over the last 50 years. I mean, Rocky was out in 76, so literally 50 years ago. 48 years ago, So it's a long story, Wet, that I've talked about a lot in here, so I don't want to bore the kids in the stream again. But basically, him and his manager fucked me over on 2 shows and a roast, so I will never roast battle again. I mean, I went 4-1 on television. It got me nothing, literally nothing. And 3 people I beat got all 3 seasons. So fuck that show. Yeah, I mean, Tiana beat them all. She didn't beat Mike Lawrence. But Sarah's one of my best friends, so I love her a lot. Yeah, I mean, that is funny, Moses, actually. Didn't you come close to going back for one night to battle Jeff? I did, but then a friend of mine who was kind of trying to coordinate it was like, well, Jeff wants to go over the jokes with you. It's like, that's not roast battle. Like, he knew I was going to come in piping hot. And he wanted to, like, rehearse the battle. Fuck that. Because that happened with the Sklar Brothers battle on season 3. That battle sucked. They clearly had rehearsed the jokes. Hey, you say this and then I'll say that. And, and I knew for a fact that Jeff was just going to have my ex, Bolivia, write jokes for him. So I wouldn't even be battling him. I would have been battling her, and I already beat her. Easily, I might add. 100%. Absolutely. So, didn't you say you thought one of your exes would have wrote the jokes for him? Yeah, I mean, Bolivia Space would have wrote. So I wouldn't have even been battling Jeff. I would have been battling Bolivia. So I'll slap Ross with my stale Jerry curls. I appreciate that. Fuck it. We'll do an hour. We'll do another 15 minutes. But yeah, that's why. I mean, when I heard that, I lost what respect I had for him. Go over the jokes. What? What's the point of that then? No, this was after the falling out. SC. I mean, literally, like I told you guys the other night, I could have sued the network. I could have sued Jeff. I could have sued everyone involved in the show. With, the game show law is if it's a cash prize show, there's supposed to be no conflicts of interest. And the conflicts of interest that I faced, just from my end, were outrageous. It's all right. You can drink beer like a Viking if you put in the work. I mean, at the time I was like, well, here are my options. I could sue the network. I could sue Jeff. I could sue his manager. Just the fact that Jeff and his manager were executive producers on the show, that's a huge conflict of interest. With all the people on the show who were writing jokes for Jeff on all the roast, like he's clearly going to favor them in battles. So, it would have been a tough one to. I mean, I think I would have won absolutely. But okay, well, I still want to audition for Comedy Central animation shit. So that's not going to happen if I go through with the suit. But I mean, it's literally a law. Like when Chandler was on Holy Moly as a writer and a producer, I wasn't really aware of the law. So one day I went to visit her on the set and I was like, hey, can you get me on this show? Because I've played golf for a long time and I was always good at putting. And she was like, I can't. And I'm like, huh? And she's like, you probably would win because you were a good putter. And then anyone who you would have not fought, but anyone who you would have gone up against would have said, well, his girlfriend is a writer on the show. And they would have been right, to be honest with you. That's all right, though. I don't want to work with him anyway. But, him and his manager, they're fucking sociopaths. I saw his manager a couple months ago when I was walking Lois, and she just walks up to me like nothing was wrong. Hey, Earl, how's it going? I no-sold her. I just stared right at her and kept walking. So, yeah, I mean, I thought that, the wave works on the local show, but the problem in my season of a roast battle was the wave didn't have their own camera. I believe in later seasons they did. So, like in my battle, they almost cost me my first battle against Tom Ballard. When Tom got a really good joke in on me, and I'm about ready to fire back with my reply, and then the wave comes up and does their thing, dances around, and it takes about 30 seconds. And then I had to wait for them to calm down and the laughter to die down, and then I had to get my rebuttal in, and the rebuttal didn't do great. But luckily, the rest of my jokes did. So, I'd be a maniac on it. But I'm not a big enough comic, to be honest with you, to be considered for the roast. So, but I would love to be on one day. I'd be unhinged. Trust me, I would be the one they talked about the most. Trust me on that one. But that's probably not going to happen, to be honest with you. Unless I got on like a TV show or whatever. And even then, I'm sure Jeff would be like, nah. Because I was supposed to be on the roast of Adam Egan at the Comedy Store. And Jeff's, I don't know what he said to Adam, but hey, you got to take Earl off. He's going to come in too hot. And I absolutely would have. No fucking doubt about it. I would have come in scorching hot on him. You're supposed to be the roast master. Don't be such a pussy. But that's who he is. He'll never change. Not really, Biggie. Not a lot of people are getting over on roast battle. Certainly not at this era. I mean, when you look at, I could argue almost nobody's gotten over on roast battle. To be honest with you, no, I haven't. I mean, if you look at, Mike Lawrence won season 1 of roast battle. It's not like he became a superstar. He's getting the same gigs he would have been getting anyway. And Frank Castillo, who won season 2, he still has to audition for shit. The problem is it's such a disposable skill set that, like when I got back from season 1, I took a meeting or two, and like this one manager made a clip of his favorite jokes of mine. And, there's the one joke where I'm calling Tom Ballard the gay F word, and then I had a couple jokes about Jimmy Carr that kind of stretched the line. And the guy was like, "Hey, these are great jokes, but I can't show these to a writer's room, the head writer's room guy, because I just no." And I got what he was saying. I mean, Adam's the booker of the mothership. He's not really an actor. Well, no, that's never going to come up personally. Like, but I know I've probably not been. I mean, I think I'm banned from the room on Tuesday nights, and someone said, "Yeah, you got to apologize to Jeff," and that's fucking Hollywood in a nutshell. So Jeff fucks me over on 2 TV shows, and I have to apologize to him. Fuck that guy. He's such a loser. I mean, I sound like Kevin Brennan now, but like, I really mean what I'm saying. Um, but that's the business. The business protects people like Jeff. I mean, he was on Hollywood Squares last night. I mean, all the comics in the world, and Jeff still gets all these gigs. Nobody cares. Oh, I bet they are. Put 100%. I mean, it's literally the definition of a sociopath. But he also doesn't care. Do you think Jeff wants to be friends with a comic a couple years younger than him? Fuck no. Um, and that's fine. He's just not a good guy, man. And have you ever heard me talk about anyone else like this? Go back and look up any interview I've done about Tyler, the Creator. And I say what a great guy he was, how nice he was, how giving he was. Yeah, I mean, it's just like the Hollywood Squares. It'll probably last a season or two. Well, a little fight here. Fiala trying to stir the pot up a little bit. Um, 100%. But that's the crazy thing is like, roast battle was better when I was on the show, which makes it better for Jeff. But yeah, Paul Lynn was great. But Jeff likes to be the funniest guy on the show, and it's just like that's why he has basically not all, but essentially an all open mic writing staff. And I challenge anyone. Go on, I guess ComedyCentral.com. Watch my 5 roast battles on television, all 5 of them, and you tell me one episode where Jeff was funnier than me. You can't. And watch them yourselves. Like, it's indisputable. Um, but I want to be known as a stand-up. I don't want to be like Jeff and only be known as a roaster. I mean, it's just. I would love to be on the, like kind of do what Nikki Glazer does. I mean, obviously, I'd love to be as successful as her, but like Nikki's known as a comic who's really good at roasting. Jeff is just known as a roaster. So, I mean, probably the best 8 minutes I have on tape is my Shane Doan roast. If you look up Earl Skakel, Shane Doan, that's Doan. My full 8 minute set is up on YouTube, and I rarely kill. I killed on this one. Yeah, and the open micers who wrote the jokes for him. Like, can you imagine being as big of a comic as he is, and you surround yourself with like the bottom feeders so you can look good? It is energy drink time, no doubt about it. Yeah, the Showtime show was great. Because everyone was trying to help everyone on that show. Like, people were miserable on it. Thank you, ACDC. Kill Tony does what? I mean, I don't think Kill Tony is good for comedy, but like, I understand why it's successful. Um, Yeah, I mean, Jeff is Jeff, but he always works. I mean, he's constantly working, which, his manager, as much as I hate her, like, she's gotten everyone to forget about, certain things. And he's on TV constantly. Peanuts campaign. I mean, there's so many comics funnier than him. And, it's just the way the business works. The funniest people don't get the gigs. I mean, I should be more, well known, but, it's just not how the business works. Um, yeah, but I mean, she's in her 50s. I mean, I work out every day and I'm a little thick, but, um, fuck, I'm 56. I mean, I can't work out any more than I do. Well, but she's also had um, I mean, she does look rough, but she's also in her 50s and been going to nightclubs for, 5'1", 5'1". So, well, that's not nice. My mom's been dead for 24 years, you fucking creep. Um, Jesus. I see we have our first troll of the night, and it's not even funny. Um, you're so unfunny, Jake. You should write for Jeff Ross. Trust me, you would have a gig. Um, well, I don't want you to subscribe, but you know what? I'm not going to block you. I want your unfunniness to shine in the stream. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the crazy thing, William, is that guy thought it was funny. Like, what a loser. I fucked your mom. I mean, do you know? I mean, that's like first grade level. Well, I won't be on in 10 minutes, so, um, you know, he'll have to go to MLC or um, Melton or whoever. Yeah, I mean the troll. I've never met a troll that's gotten the better of me ever, not once. Although that person's screen name Connie Lingus, they did get me with that. Uh, who's Spaz? How do I unban him? I don't think I banned him. I don't think I banned anyone except I think you banned that one guy who was doing like N-word stuff, which really wasn't my. It really wasn't my jam, if you know what I'm saying. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna come roast me, you got to be funnier than "oh, fuck your mom." Kip banned him. Okay, well, I'll look into uh, the banned people, and I'll have to talk to Kip about that. I don't even know how to unban someone. Is it on YouTube they're banned or just the streams? I'll figure it out. That's why I have Zoom in the house. Zoom always with the good technological advice, along with Kip Smith and Gina Babina. Hey, we've already hit an hour. I've hit the goal of $0. I mean, I remember that picture of Billy Idol and Drew Barrymore at Studio 54 when, I mean, Drew Barrymore was in Studio 54 when she was like 8. Can you imagine what she is seeing? Yeah, I love Gina. I love all my mods. I mean, listen, I know that. Oh, I do remember Spaz. No, we don't want that wet short. You know, no racism in the Earlverse. You'll have to go to, I don't know, Joey C's chat room or go on Rumble and find Pat Dixon. I don't know. Um, I mean, listen, being a moderator is not a great job. It's free. It's thankless. You're dealing with idiots. Uh, oh, really? I don't know about that one. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Drew Barrymore was hanging out at 8 years old with Billy Idol, a prime cocaina, Billy Idol. So, I mean, you guys know I'm pretty liberal with what I let go on in this stream. I mean, I believe I've only banned one person in this stream for doing N-word towers, which I still don't understand the allure of that. But I do realize it's the internet, and Slide and Gedge, $2, less than 350, more than a buck. And you know what happens when you super chat, baby. Thank you very much. You show me the money, honey. How was it? Fights every single day. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And it's not the $2. It's just the principle. Hey, this guy's entertaining me. Here's a few bucks. Yes, Rat and Roll. By the way, I'll be Ryan Roxy, the guitar player from Alice Cooper's Bodyguard, Friday at the NAMM show. Now, I will be doing live streams from NAMM. That is like freak show central. So, Friday could be a real fun day in the Earlverse. I'll be doing streams with Ryan Roxy at NAMM, which is the music, basically Comic Con for musicians. So you take the midnight subway train, you're calling all the shots. You step a lightning, you're in love. You seem very happy today. It's because Trump is in the White House. No, I'm a happy guy. Oh, is that episode out? Is that out, Ryan? I never got a link or anything to it. So yes, please check out the Chappelle Lacey's new. Let me check my. I don't have an assistant when I do these streams, so let me get an energy drink. I think Moses was right. Talk amongst yourselves. Whoa. Okay. Let me see the recap here. Let me get the links. I would think I would get the links. Where did you see that out in the? Let me. Let's see. Okay, let's go on Chappelle's. I don't see a post of it yet. Oh, I don't see. Where did you see it, Ryan? I like to always be promoting. Is it on Joel's Instagram? Body Talk could have been on the Top Gun soundtrack. Oh, it's on Apple. Let me text. I believe it's probably on YouTube as well. I mean, they had like a 3-camera setup, so let me message Joel too. Sorry, it's not. I know it's not exciting. You guys watching me. Always be promoting. Always be promoting. Let's move the camera back. 5-1 Pittsburgh Penguins. 10 minutes left. I could have seen Body Talk maybe in the volleyball scene in Top Gun, but their manager, I think, said, let's do the Eddie Murphy Golden Child soundtrack instead. I'm not good in the writer's room because you have to do a lot of fake laughing. Like, oh my God, that's so funny, Bill. Oh my God, Jeff, that's the funniest joke ever. Fuck that. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked, I mean, obviously that would have helped. I mean, Berlin made a career off of that one. Take my breath away. I mean, that was huge for them. So I think if the Rat song would have been in a good scene, I mean, Steve Stevens, he has my favorite song on the soundtrack, and it's just an instrumental with, I think, Harold Faltermeyer. New, 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 new. I mean, it's a bop. Who cares if they wrote it? They got the tour off it. Yeah, but I'm sure the Tubes hated "She's a Beauty" because that song was basically them selling out to corporate rock. Um, but that's why they're still known as a band. Yeah, riding on "I'm a Man." They also had another song, "I'm a Man." Um, but I mean, "Take My Breath Away" off that scene with Top Gun. I mean, it was a huge, huge. Yeah, sex. But did they sing that? TB? Are you in the music business? You seem to have your ear to the ground in the music field. I'm a Rat guy over Motley Crue, but everyone's different. Everyone, you like what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, Rat, I think, weren't the best live, because they took out Bon Jovi on their first tour, and Bon Jovi kind of lapped them. And then they took out Poison on their first run of tours, and Poison kind of lapped them. And I find that Rat's catalog, I mean, DeMartini, man, he's the better guitar player than most people from that era. And I love CC DeVille, for the record. But they just, each album, I think they got worse and worse. Not worse, but just the songs just weren't quite there, and that's when they had to call in Desmond Child. And of course, when Robin Crosby was fading, that hurt the band too, because he was a big part of those early records. Giorgio Moroder. I mean, I'm into music, but you seem like you're more in the know. Yeah, I mean, I like "Dangerous but Worth the Risk" is a kind of not an unknown Rat song, but it's a very good song. "Walking the Dog," I mean, Rat's got a lot of good songs. I mean, "Nobody Rides for Free" is a great song, but I mean, everyone's heard that song. Gina Babina in the motherfucking house. What up? Trying to think. What's that one song? "Got Me on the Line." "Scene of the Crime." You know, a lot of good. My favorite hockey team, unfortunately, is the LA Kings, and they are not doing well right now. Their lack of communication. I mean, and even their kind of. I mean, I love the ballad. "You're giving yourself away." And Stephen Pearcy doesn't have a classic voice for ballads, but that's a great song. And they just, I don't know. I mean, they just seem to implode with each album. What did you think of Stryper? I like Stryper. I mean, as a band musically, they were very good musicians. I just think that people weren't really into the God talk, especially then when every band's singing about pussy and fucking and devil worship, and you got Stryper's big song was "To Hell with the Devil." But I do like that song they did, "Always There for You." Love can be so cold. No more words of broken promises. I want to show you what true love is. I'm always there for you. You get the deal. And well, the funny thing is, I once met the drummer from Stryper, Robert Sweet. He was backstage at a Vince Neil concert in Arizona I was at. And I think my friend Brent Fitz, who drums for Slash, amongst many others, introduced me. I said, "Hey, man, it's nice to meet you. I always wanted to fuck you till I found out you were a dude." And he just kind of looked at me like, tough crowd. So I had no problem with Stryper. I mean, Michael Sweet's got such a good voice. He basically replaced a singer from Boston. Like, there are not many people who could replace Brad Delp's high vocals. Michael Sweet is one of the few. That's probably one of my favorite celebrity interactions, along with my interaction of meeting Eric Estrada at Best Buy. And Eric Estrada had a blue shirt on, like they do at Best Buy. And I walked up to him. I tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, "Hey, do you know where the CDs are?" And then when he turned around, I knew, oh, fuck, it's Poncherello. And you know what? He's such a nice guy. He showed me where the CDs are. And I looked at him and said, "Hey, thanks, Ponch." He got it. No AC/DC. I believe the drummer on the Vince Neil solo album, this one right here, was Vic Fox. Steve Stevens on guitar, Dave Marshall on rhythm guitar, and bass was Phil Susan. Did he show you with the Chips DVD, R2? No, I think he was actually doing something there. So I don't know. Punch was nice though. I always remember the nice ones. RoboCop was nice to me when I met him at the same Best Buy. He was buying printer ink, and I just walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, I know you're off the clock, but I just got to say, I got to tell my friends I met RoboCop." So he gave me a fist bump, and then he looked at me like, "All right, dude, get the fuck out of my face, bitch." I'm a big Terry Bozzio fan. I know his son, Rain Bozzio, is a great drummer in his own right. Can you imagine being Terry Bozzio's son and you're a drummer too? Well, here's a little bit of movie trivia, or TV show trivia, I should say, that Larry Wilcox, who played Officer John Baker, he was supposed to be Detective Sonny Crockett. Miami Vice almost looked incredibly different because the rumored final two was Officer John Baker as Sonny Crockett and Denzel Washington as Ricardo Tubbs. Oh, that would have been cool to see Richard. I didn't know that about Richard Chavez. I know he was later in the show. And really, probably Edward James Olmos doesn't become Castillo if Gregory Sierra just stayed on the show, as Detective Lou Rodriguez, but he didn't like living in Miami. So that, and I love Gregory Sierra. He was very good in the 4 episodes he was in. But, almost killed it as Castillo. Those first couple seasons. I mean, you could tell seasons 4 and 5, everyone had kind of checked out. But one of my favorite guilty pleasure episodes. Excuse me. One of my favorite guilty pleasure episodes of the latter years of Miami Vice was I think it was season 4, Miracle Man, because Izzy was in it, along with if you're a Miami Vice freak. That was a solid burp. I apologize. My bad. This isn't carbonated. This is bum root beer. But if you follow Miami Vice like I do, I'm a Miami Vice super freak. We all know the character of Izzy Marino, who was the CI, the criminal informant. He had I think it was in 4 episodes. There is nothing on this guy on the internet. Izzy had an assistant named Manny, and he didn't talk. He was like Jaws and Moonraker and Spy Who Loved Me. And he was just stood there behind Izzy. And there is nothing on this guy on the internet. No, it wasn't Dan Marino. It's kind of like if you're a White Shadow freak, and I am a White Shadow freak. The manager of the basketball team, the guy who hands out towels and collects all the balls after practice, Phil the manager. There's nothing on this guy on the internet. Can you imagine? I mean, The White Shadow was a pretty big show. Obviously, Miami Vice, even if you're just a recurring character in 4 episodes, you'd think there'd be something on you on the internet. And another one that has always bothered me, now this is more local, so I don't expect a lot of guys and girls to know this one, but it was really the first foray into combat TV long before Springer. This guy was kind of a combo of Springer and Sean Hannity meets Morton Downey by the name of Wally George. And it was a local show that I believe at some point went national. And there was a sidekick on the show, David Kennedy. There's nothing on the internet about this guy. He just disappeared. I mean, let me tell you, the first 2 seasons are amazing. The first season's fucking spectacular. Second season, very good. Third season's good right up until John Deal left the show, and then it gets a little wonky. Seasons 4 and 5, I think, you could tell Don Johnson didn't necessarily want to be there anymore. But still some good episodes. If you want some recommendations, like a starter kit on certain episodes to watch, definitely watch The Golden Triangle. One of the best episodes, a 2-parter. Prodigal Son, another 2-parter. Any episodes, Wally George did rule. Any episodes with Dennis Farina and Ned Eisenberg in the early seasons, John Santucci. KDOC, Channel 56. I think it's out of business now. But those first couple seasons of Wally George were spectacular. I mean, I guess I would watch season 1 in order. It's not like Lost or like The Blacklist, where they're basically, it's Cuban drug dealers in every episode, and then I think you can watch them out of order and get it. I don't know if I would say watch one episode from season 1 and then watch one episode from season 5. I would watch each season before you move on to the next season. Also, one of my favorite episodes because it stars my favorite actor, John Glover. Lend Me an Ear, which is a great, great episode. I think it was season one with Bruce McGill, D-Day from Animal House. It was Out Where the Buses Don't Run. That's a great early episode. So, and the pilot, the first episode was a 2 hour pilot. It's basically a TV movie. So yeah, I mean, definitely. Like I said, the first three seasons of Miami Vice really good, and then kind of lost its way seasons 4 and 5. But I would say half the episodes in each season were good, seasons 4 and 5. Whereas almost every episode season one was good, as well as season two, probably 80%. And then when John Deal left the show, I think it was midway through season three. You know, Louis Gossett Jr. great, and the King Cobra video for Iron Eagle, Never Say Die. So yeah, Angel Dust. I mean, fellow Michael Thomas was a pretty established actor. He's in Good Times, and but he was struggling. And he almost lost out to you know not Kermit Washington, Denzel Washington. Gary Cole was very close to getting Detective Sonny Crockett. Because a lot of people don't realize this, but Don Johnson, the head of the network, just was a little unsure if he could carry a show because he had like 5 failed pilots. And a lot of pilots never air, like the one I was in 2012. I mean, they must have spent $500,000 on this. It's kind of a rip off of Always Sunny in Philadelphia meets The Office, but it was a good show. Like everyone in the pilot that I was in, we all work. And so, Don Johnson, he was like the king of unaired and pilots that never got picked up. So he really was on the long shot list to get Sonny Crockett. I mean, Gary Cole would have been good. I think Perry King, who also I think he auditioned for Sonny Crockett. Perry King had also, I think, been relatively close to getting Han Solo. So, I mean, but I think Brandon Tartikoff, William, really was against having Don Johnson as the guy. Because he had just, Hollywood's brutal. Once Don Johnson at that time had 5 failed pilots. I'm sure Brandon Tartikoff was like, "You ain't gonna get number 6 with me, brother." But look how I mean, Hollywood executives, they don't know shit. They really don't. And we'll book into Emmanuel Lewis as Sonny Tubbs. Come on, Sonny Tubbs. Are you cross-referencing the characters? Now here's some bonus points. Who knows? Well, you know what that means. That means Lois is up and wants to be acknowledged. We'll turn the lights on for Lois. Lois is like, shut up about all this fucking Miami Vice talk. It's all right, Lois. You be chilling, Lois. It's all good in the hood. I've got, bro. We got so many medicines for Lois, but she's doing good. I mean, I know it sounds awful. Lois, say hello to the fans. Look at that little snaggletooth. We get a ground level. Lois, you be chilling. I know, poor Lois. Well, thank God that Penguins game is over. Here's some more wrestling action figures. Jay Briscoe armband, Stallone's hat from Over the Top, another Piper. Got a Sunny doll there. Sunny days, sunny days. Lois, do you have to go to the bathroom? Piper was the best. Whereas, since you're a Piper fan, I think you're new to the stream, Nasty Neil. Check out this. You see, he signed it to me too, Earl. I'm kind of tempted to open that, but of course, here's the front of what a Pierre-Luc Dubois helmet looks like. Lois might have to go to the bathroom, so. No, I would never open it, but I am kind of curious to see what it tastes like. Lois might have to go to the bathroom, so let me go upstairs in the darkness. So Ultimate Warrior 2 will always believe. All right, we're now in the darkness, and I don't mean the band. I realize that this isn't very interesting. I have met Robert Loggia. Actually, I cut him off once when I was going to the Bel Air Country Club for dinner. Because I think he cut me off first, and then I cut him off and flipped him off, not knowing it was Robert Loggia. And he ends up sitting next to me at the Bel Air Country Club, and I think he recognized me. He looks at me and goes, "You're too attractive to drive like that, son. Calm down." And I said, "I'm sorry, man." I think I said Mr. Lopez, from his Scarface character. Just to calm the storm down. All right, it's a little cold out, so I have to put my jacket on. Hold on. All right. I want to get my stream taken down from the TV signal. Hold on, guys. Hello. I can always tell Lois looks a little nervous. Anyone want some CDs? Do a quick walk. I can always tell when Lois looks nervous. She gotta go pee-pee. I love this jacket. Everyone makes fun of this jacket, but come on. If you look at it, the reason why I think I love it so much is because when I was a little kid, there was a monster movie about two monsters. One was green, one was brown, and it was called Battle of the Gargantuans. It was kind of like a Godzilla type movie. And the premise of the movie was, I think the green one, see, I knew it, look at Lois. All right, we're not going to watch her pee, man. Give her some privacy. And the whole point of the movie was the green one didn't want to fight his brother. And then finally the green one got pissed and started fighting the brother. It was like Godzilla versus King Kong, that type of shit. Oh, the brown was good. The green was evil. Well, very few people remember it. But it's like kind of one of those movies that Tarantino probably liked. Tarantino made The Inglourious Bastards based off the shitty TV movie with Bo Svensson. And that was one of my favorite shows. Man, it's a little cold. I'm sure the Battle of the Gargantuans is on like YouTube or something. I wouldn't mind checking that out again. But I don't remember why the brown one didn't want to fight his brother. I mean, they were fucking monsters. Well, there's so many fucking homeless people in West Hollywood that there's absolutely some human duties on the ground. Now, Lois is, she got to pee again, so we'll just, check the camera, check the scene. This is my neighborhood. This is a very nice hotel right here. Well, of course, Bo Svensson was also in my favorite football movie of all time, North Dallas 40. Now, the rumor was Bo Svensson was upset on set because John Matuzak was given a larger. Bo Svensson was obviously a very established actor in 1978, but John Matuzak was a real-life fucking maniac in the NFL, so I could see where I'm sure Bo Svensson was a much better actor than John Matuzak, but for this particular movie, I could see John Matuzak being the better actor. But speaking of Miami Vice and good episodes, another episode to check out. There's a very funny stand-up scene in it where Izzy is doing stand-up to a bunch of old people. Viking Bikers from Hell, which is about a group of 3 motorcycle, like a gang, and check out this group: Sonny Landham, the Indian from Predator, Reb Brown, who was the first Captain America, and also the Enforcer in Big Wednesday, and John Matuzak. Actually, I knew John Matuzak's last girlfriend in the late 80s, and she was like a fitness trainer, and she was trying to get him clean and sober, but it just didn't happen, unfortunately. I mean, John Matuzak was only fucking 39 years old when he passed, but doctors say that they had never seen a heart so enlarged like his. Now, I don't know if John Matuzak did steroids, because he was just a big guy. He was definitely muscular, but he was just, like my brother Andrew's, like, he's not quite as big as John Matuzak, but he's a big guy. So, I mean, who knows what they were fucking taking in the 70s. But, I mean, John Matuzak, I think he was like 6'8", 250, 260. So, there is a pharmacy in the valley, I think Sherman Oaks, Studio City maybe, where apparently John Matuzak went. So they still have his autographed picture on the wall. I've been trying to get it for a couple years, but no dice, baby, no dice. Shh, Lois. Shh. Lois, shh. Come on. Get me kicked out of this building. Watch how fast she is. Go. She's a sprinter. Lois, come on now. All right, I have to prepare Lois's snack right now, which I'm sure is not very interesting to you guys. I have to take her heart medicine, a little pill. And I have to, she's so smart that I take the bottom end of my electric toothbrush and I smash it. See, then I take it over here. I mean, I know this isn't the most interesting way to end a video, but, so then we put the food in like that. And then we put a little liquid broth. Well, it's hard to do this. Put a little liquid broth here. And we shake it a little bit. It's not so hard on Lois's teeth. And we'll let her eat in peace. Let me lock the door in case anyone tries to break in. Here's my autographed Buster Douglas boxing glove. I won't say who got me that. I mean, Zoom knows. Zoom knows the deal. I stole that from the Comedy Store podcast. So, oh, what a waste of time that was. Abdullah the Butcher in the house, Ultimate Warrior doll, and of course, I like this, the Devil. Remember him? And this guy was at the Comedy Store the other night, Brother Love. I wish I would have known. I would have had him autograph that shit. So, no need to retract messages in here, guys. We're an open forum in here. Sorry, my hair's looking a little ratty. It's almost a full head of hair for 56. That's not bad, man. I mean, I got a big forehead, but, welcome to the jungle. But hey, we've done an hour tonight, babies. YouTube, Zoom will tell you, man. Well, I mean, I a little thinning up top, but like for the most part, I have most of my hair. But thank you guys for, I don't know. I mean, that's out of my realm of technical savvy, to be honest with you. TikTok already back. I don't think it was ever going anywhere. Trump's the type of guy who, hey, you guys take it down for a day, and then the day before I take office, put it back up so it makes it look like I did it. I mean, he is smart with shit like that, no doubt about it. I don't know if I have Gino Bisconte here. I mean, that's ACDC. That's grounds for blocking there, comparing me to Gino Bisconte. I'm just kidding, buddy. You've been one of the original Earl soldiers. Um, Kip Smith in the house. Kip Smith, can you unblock Spaz? I believe Mr. Zoom told me that you blocked Spaz or Spaz. He was a good commenter. He's probably learned his lesson. We give people second chances here in the Earl world. I did watch that on. I'm just fucking around, ACDC. I could take a joke. I mean, I got a big head. Like, there's no like. I'd be a strange guy if I was arguing that fact. So, what up, Pooter? Pooter in the house. Always first up on my Instagram post. So, this has been a fun stream, guys. I'm going to relax for a bit, and plus my phone is at like 2%. I'm getting a text right now with the links from the Earl Skakel, Chappelle Lacey, Joel Jimenez show. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, William. Thank you, Kip Smith, for the moderating duties. Thank you, guys. Okay. Well, let me. How do I make you an administration mod? Let me. It says remove as managing moderator. I certainly don't want to do that. All right, I'll figure it out. I don't know how to do that shit. I don't know how to unban them. Where do I find the people who are banned? Like somewhere on the YouTube privacy settings? I'm not trying to play dumb. I just honestly don't. I don't know how to do shit like that. Yeah, but where do I look? On YouTube? Like under settings, privacy or something? I don't recall him. I mean, that idiot that was in the stream tonight, I wouldn't even ban him. He's, fuck your mom jokes. You guys know me. My mom died 26 years ago. So if he's fucking my mom tonight, he's in for a rough ride. But I know where he is, because that would mean he's in Miami Beach. But where is the list? Would the list be under privacy settings, I'm assuming? I literally know nothing about that shit. But I'll find it. I'll figure it out. But thank you to my moderators. I know in a stream that has 18 people in it, you probably are going, what the hell do you have 3 mods for? They're 3 good people. And I surround myself with good people. Earl Skakel over and out. That's my final.